Why did you leave? Why didn't you protect me? Why didn't you teach me how a man is supposed to treat a woman? Why didn't you want to be my dad?
Stand up. Stand up. Just hold him.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Come here. Get behind you. Right here. Lyra is the youngest woman here, but she has been holding this in her entire life and making decisions fueled by this hurt. Many black women have the same experience as Lyra, abandoned by their fathers, men who are themselves broken. Broken people raise broken people, but today we are breaking that cycle.
Please your mind, make you no go kill yourself. When you go make them now, only God go know. You dey try, make you no go lose yourself. No go stress yourself, cause no be you get yourself. Oh Lord, say now you go give me peace, everything.
Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another episode of Nice Corner. Hope you're wonderful and you are blessed and you know what to do. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you can keep up with everything in Nice Corner, and also give this video a huge thumbs up. Doesn't cost you guys anything. And I just wanted to give a huge shout out to my wonderful new subscribers. I bless the Most High for you. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me on my channel. I couldn't thank you guys enough, and I appreciate all your support, all your DMs, all your messages. You guys mean the world to me. So I appreciate you guys and I love you guys. And also, please visit my Patreon account. I have Patreon and PayPal, just in case you want to definitely help support my channel. We support my channel. We are, doing the best we can.
Trying to get better equipment.
Yeah, trying to get better equipment, trying to kind of just make it work. I'm quickly approaching my year mark, but I haven't quite hit a year yet. But I just really want to thank the Most High so much for just the growth that I have received in under a year. And it's thanks to you guys. So I bless the Most High for you. As you can see, I'm here. This is a sipping tea with my Yee episode, technically.
Or sipping
Baltic water because it's hot out here.
It's hot.
It is really hot. Harmattan is coming in, so we're in the sweltering heat in our courtyard. And so instead of tea, sipping water with my Yee. But today's episode of Sipping Tea with my Yee is I have to say, it's a really difficult episode for me, and a difficult topic, I would say. But it is a topic that is, it hits home for a lot of women and men. But this is especially dedicated to women, to ladies, and this is dealing with the topic of daddyless daughters. It's really tough for me to do this video because it hits home for me so much, because I am a daddyless daughter, and it's even still hard for me to even come to terms with that, and different behaviors that I have displayed and still displaying, signifies this, I guess, in my heart that I never really came to terms with. I mean, I had a pretty good life. My mother, bless her heart, she's been a great, awesome mother to me. I was raised in an environment full of love, but there was and still is a void that is missing in me that I never really realized was there. I mean, a kid growing up, got love, of course, only child, got some attention.
A lot of attention.
Too
much attention.
I got, and even in our family, our immediate family, I got a lot of love. So I never really realized it, that there was really something that was a void that would be affecting me down the line later in my, some of my teenage years, and really in my early adulthood. I never really thought that would be such a problem for me. So with my mother being here.
I'm here as her support. I'm here to support her through this because I know she wanted to do it, and I admire her bravery of just being transparent and talking about this. So I'm here to support her through it. And also, I've dealt with some of these issues as well. So I'm here for you.
I could not thank you enough. And I feel that these talks are important. Of course, on my channel, I talk about being here in Ghana, different topics, what have you, going to different places or whatnot.
But it's kind of weird because it still ties in with you being here.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be prevalent if you go to Australia, if
That's
you go
true.
to China, if you go to South America. It's something Istanbul. You're still going to struggle with it. So I think it's kind of good that we're here in Ghana because it's starting to bring this up for you. Because I don't think you really realized it as much when we were in the States.
I didn't.
So, because of a series of events, it has brought it to the surface for you where, from what you shared with me, where you're like, I need to look at this. I need to look at this in the eye and deal with it.
But you know what? It's like a part of me that is almost like afraid to deal with it. Because,
That's understandable.
I've only, you guys, just to let you know, my father's an actor. So I've only seen him on screen. I've never been, face to face with him.
Right.
So it's like whenever I've seen him, it's almost like, okay, that's my father, and but it's still a stranger.
Sure, of course.
And I never thought that it really would affect me. Kind of like growing up, I always kind of like held like having a boyfriend, like as a high regard. And oh my gosh, Valentine's Day, y'all.
Oh my gosh.
When I was in school, when I was in like middle school, especially high school, I would feel Valentine's Day, I would feel really bad. And there would be some Valentine's Days where I would have to stay at home.
Right. I'd let her stay at home because she went through so much dealing with Valentine's Day. And I'm going to be very honest. I didn't know what that was. I really didn't. I consider myself a very intelligent woman, but I didn't know really what that was. It was just really odd how Valentine's Day would almost like destroy you.
It would crush me. It would crush me. And I would look at like different girls that I would go to school with, their boyfriends would give them like balloons, candy, and they would reciprocate it. And I thought that was really, really lovely. And they would come in and sing, like the choir would sing, like, kind of like different, like My Funny Valentine and different, so like that, and them giving that to their girlfriends or boyfriends or whatever. And I would long for that. And I would be
one Valentine's Day, she went to school, and it was when she was in high school, and I knew it was going to be a rough day for her. So I just went to the mall. I bought her a big bouquet of roses.
I'll never forget that.
And a big bouquet of balloons and a huge Seeds candy heart chocolate box.
That candy was good too.
And
I enjoyed every bit.
She shared some with me. I was very appreciative. And a card. And I had that waiting in your room. So when you came in from school, you'd walk in your room and you'd see all this stuff.
Yeah.
And even though that was nice, I know you were happy to get that from me.
Yeah.
If you had a father and he gave it to you, it would have had a totally different meaning.
I have to say, I've been watching Ayanna Van Zant videos, and she did a segment dealing with this, specifically catered toward daddyless daughters, and it was on Oprah's channel. And a lot of the things that were coming up during that series, I definitely can relate to.
And after you tell the story and you really own the pieces and parts of it and look at it, then clutch your pearls, ladies, clutch your pearls. Then you really have to be able to forgive yourself for the things that you told yourself about yourself as a result of your father not being there. Whatever you told yourself, forgive yourself for the things you told yourself about yourself that weren't true as a result of the story that you made up.
And I remember she said that there were about 6 or 7 uns.
Right.
And kind of like feeling unworthy, unlovable, unaccepted, unattractive, unlovable, just the different uns that daddyless daughters can face. Mm-hmm. And I would say I related to most of them.
Daddyless daughters have a treasure chest of uns, unworthy, unloved, unimportant, unneeded, unnecessary, unattractive. And we have all of these uns, and then because we tell ourselves these stories, then we go out and really try to prove that that's true about us. So we've got to start unpacking the uns. Unwanted by who? Do you want you? Because one of the main things that a daddyless daughter has to do is really define and redefine herself.
You know, it really makes you think. It really does. It really makes you think. Kind of like, why do I feel this way about myself? Why do I, kind of have, and it's really, I guess you'd say, abandonment. With, let's say, like the times when my father could have reached out to me. I'm thinking at the time, oh, well, that's okay, whatever.
Right.
But actually, it played a deeper effect than I thought. And that can open the door into feeling rejected, into rejection, into, like I said, abandonment. And, with guys that I've been with, there has been a certain level of lack of trust.
Right. Yeah.
And I won't say, how it happens in a way, but I can tell by it's a lack of trust. So, and that has definitely manifested. Also, it's kind of weird with me because it's like I've wanted to be with a man, want a man to love me. I love him back. Just a really cool relationship, but at the same time, with something else that I'm struggling with, it symbolizes that I have a wall up. And so it's just a lot. And real talk, there was a guy that I saw not too very long ago that really brought this up for me. And I'm not a crybaby, guys.
No, it's okay. It's okay to cry. I don't know why people like to fight back tears, because tears are cleansing, and that's stuff that has to come out. It needs to come up, and that's all part of that healing process as well. You have to go through the pain to get over the obstacles. So it's okay to cry. Okay, it's okay to cry.
But this video, I have to say, is dedicated to my sisters out there that have currently gone through it, are still currently going through it. I'm representing, women and young women who are
some older women.
Yeah, women in general who are facing this, and it is so tough to face the inner pain and inner demons that you're dealing with, due to your father not being around. And, so really, I just want to doing this video to let you guys know that I'm with you, give you guys also encouragement, we'll get through this together. And for any women that are out there that are facing it, that you're not alone. And I feel that videos like this should be put out there, because in the society, even men, you struggle, with things.
Oh,
but
of course.
For females, there's a lot, being a woman, being a female, that we deal with in this society, and being also a black female, a female of African descent. It's we have a lot we're dealing with, and just in the society, even just by being here, you know,
right, and hearing what women deal with
here. This is I mean, across the world, you know. But I'm really talking to, you know, my sisters. You know, we have the kind of extra added stuff.
Let me just add this. You know, with us saying that knowing about what some women deal with here and young women deal with here, you did that video with Fred and Richla, where Richla revealed that here, that girls a lot of times don't hear that they're beautiful. And I have to say, since we've been here in Ghana is full of, I mean, absolutely stunningly beautiful, drop-dead gorgeous women.
I mean, body for days.
I mean, body and
just beautiful, rich skin.
The colors.
Gorgeous.
And they're just beautiful. Okay, they're just beautiful. But I may get some backlash from this, but once you really get to know me, certain things I don't really care, because if I'm telling the truth, I'm telling the truth. Even if you're a father in the home with your daughter, you need to validate your daughter, because if you don't, you're leaving her open. And that is wrong. Okay, that's wrong. You get your validation as a female from your father. You get, you know, and how you relate in relationships with men. You get that from your father.
You do.
And the relationship of that father with your mother. That's how you learn that. And if you don't, I'll tell you a story. Friends of ours. The father told his daughters they were beautiful all the time. Now, mind you, I think there was four of the girls, and they weren't really the most gorgeous women in the world. They just really weren't. But their father told them all the time how beautiful they were, and they grew up thinking they were the most gorgeous women in the world, but they got that from their dad. That means a lot. A situation happened with me when I was an adult. I was maybe about 19 years old, and I've always been into fashion. I was always into clothes and makeup and hair, and that was just my glamour. That was my thing. And I remember my dad had a talk with my two sisters and myself. I forgot what we were talking about. But he said in that conversation, he said, one thing that I love about Leisha, that's my nickname. One thing I love about Leisha is whenever she walks out of the door, she looks like a fashion model. I remember that to this very day, because my father didn't say stuff like that to us. Okay, he didn't do that. So when he said it, it meant the world to me with it coming from him. So imagine if I had gotten that type of thing, and my sisters had gotten that type of thing, you know, on a regular basis from my dad. I wouldn't have been, 9 times out of 10, hopping in and out of bed with men. Okay, I wouldn't have done that, because I would have gotten the validation that I needed from my dad. So with that being said, I'm really sorry that you weren't raised with your father. I don't know what kind of father he would have been. He had 11 children.
I was his 11th one.
So I don't know what kind. I don't think he had a relationship with somebody, but I don't know. But I did take you away because I was actually, in my way, trying to protect you. I didn't want to deal with it either. So I don't want to make it seem like I was a martyr, because I wasn't. I didn't want to deal with that mess either, because I knew what affected me was going to affect you.
Right, of course.
So I was like, I'll do this myself. I can raise him myself.
You know, kind of the way I feel about the situation, I felt that you would have been maybe damned if you did, damned if you don't. You know, sometimes we get into situations like that, because if you would have stuck around, you guys would have been arguing. That would have affected, probably. Okay, well, he's not here. You see what's going on. So it's, you know, it's a situation where, it's one of the situations where you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know,
But I'm still apologizing to you before even your subscribers that you weren't raised with your dad. And I because if you had been, maybe, I don't know, if he would have been like still an absent father, it still would have been an issue. But if he hadn't have been, maybe these things that you're struggling with, you wouldn't be struggling with it.
Well, I accept your apology. And I mean, we're all human. My thing is like, you have been a really good parent. And, perfect parent, no. But a damn good mother. And you've done your best. And that's really all that anybody can ask for.
Now we know that you were dealing with that void that you felt you didn't have. Because I always told her growing up, even when she was little, if you want to find your dad, I will find him for you.
You did.
So
you did.
if that's what you want, but you were like, I'm fine.
Right. It's like, it's so funny. You never really realize that something is like really a void for you and really affecting you until a little bit later. And I remember you always would tell me, oh, it's okay. If you want to find your father, it's okay. And I feel that you did what you felt was best. Mm-hmm. And, you were very transparent with me what happened. You did extend that to me if I wanted to find him. Mm-hmm. But, on the same token, and I don't blame him because he technically did not leave. But,
no, he didn't.
One thing I will say, though, is that there were opportunities.
Right.
For him to reach out to me. Right. And to see if that connection could be forged.
Right.
But he did not take that opportunity.
No.
So,
So that brings us back to what you're talking about, the effects, of that. Because you have some females that their fathers weren't there at all, like in Nice's case. Or in my case, I had a father that was there. My father was very, very much. He was there, but he was present, but he wasn't available. Is that how I should say it?
I guess so. Yeah, present and not available.
He was present, but he wasn't available. He was there, the provider and that type of thing. I was raised, of course, with my parents, but he was very distant, and which was bad because he had 3 girls, and that's being fatherless too, in a different type of way. We didn't really communicate with him, and I was the type of person, I wanted to have a relationship with my father, but he didn't make that available to me. And there's a lot of dynamics behind that with the relationship he had with my mom, and this is the whole thing. But it made me grow up to actually be very promiscuous. I was very sexually free as a young teenager and as a young woman. Oh my gosh, like in my 20s, it was crazy.
Older teenager, not a young teenager.
Oh, I mean older teenager, not a young teenager. Not a young teenager, older. That's right, an older teenager. And then my 20s, it was just crazy until I got married at 27. But I knew that I was having a lot of meaningless sex. It just didn't. I was searching, and I didn't know it at first.
So you talking about aha moments. When did your aha moment happen? When you discovered this?
When I discovered I was struggling?
Yeah.
It happened when I was in Las Vegas. I moved to Las Vegas when I was 19. My parents didn't want me to go, but I knew everything at 19, and I moved from California to Las Vegas, Nevada. Single woman. At that time, wasn't the place for a single woman. But I wanted to go. My friend was there, a friend that I met. She moved there, and so I was like, we'll get an apartment together, and we'll just, I can be that adult that I want to be. And I moved, and I had a job. I was an assistant manager at the Broadway at that time. For you old schoolers, remember the Broadway.
Going back, huh?
Especially in California. And I was there, and I was struggling because I was, sleeping around. I was, like I said, very promiscuous. But I had an incident that took place one night. Actually, no. There were 2 incidents that took place. One night I was very, very restless, and I decided I wanted to go out by myself to a casino, to one of the bars. And I had never really done that alone. And I remember I went to the Desert Inn, and I was sitting at the bar, and this man approached me, nice looking guy. And we talked and talked, and he told me that he was a boxer. And I was like, oh, okay. So he was saying, you know, back then, cable was a big thing because it was new. It was like, no, it was closed circuit TV.
Closed circuit TV.
And just let you know what an old girl I am.
Gosh.
Closed circuit TV, and he was like, I have it in my room. You want to go up? Because there was something that he said was on TV. And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. So I went up there with him, and when I did, naturally, one thing led to another. We ended up in the bed, and it was a frightening experience for me because I've never been in a position where a man has pinned me down on the bed, but he was a boxer.
Right.
Pinned me down on a bed where all I could move were my fingers. That's all I could move.
Gosh, yeah.
And I kept telling him, asking him to please get off of me. And he was laughing at me. And that went on for a second. And then all of a sudden, and this was really the Most High, all of a sudden, he got off of me.
Wow.
And I remember I got my things and I ran pretty much out of the room, and his friend was coming. He said, oh, are you the lady was in the room?
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, I didn't even answer him. And then the boxer guy came out in the hall, and they were laughing as I was getting on the elevator. I remember I cried all the way home. And when I got home, I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I don't even know why I'm doing this. But about a week after that, I lost my job. And I was like, how am I going to make money? And there was a guy that I knew in the complex that I worked in that knew one of the people that ran the Mustang Ranch. And I was really very close to getting into prostitution. And he had set up a meeting for me and everything. But that night, before that meeting, I just hit a meltdown. And what I did was I called my father. And I told him to come and get me. Now, this is what I'm saying. He was present and available, but he wasn't available, but he was a good father in a lot of ways. My dad got to Vegas it was light speed.
He wanted to get his baby.
And he took a nap. After he took a nap, because he was tired from the drive, he packed up my stuff, put my stuff in the car, took my car, put some new tires on it, gassed it up, got it serviced, and I followed him in my car. I followed him back to California.
That's what I call a father. That's what I call a father. Like I said, of course, the dynamics there made you, but at the end of the day, he still was there.
He came and got me.
And got you from that situation.
I had to get out of there because if I had stayed in Las Vegas, my life would have been ruined. I got home. That's when I had my aha moment as to why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And I started to do a lot of praying, a lot of soul searching, and that's when the Most High revealed to me what my problem was, what my core issue was. It had to do with my dad. So, and then I started to do the work because I knew I couldn't continue like that. I have to say, again, I admire you because I know that this was not easy for her to come on and do this. Before we started, she was kind of in this mental state of, do I do this or do I not do this? And the Most High instructed her to do it.
Yeah.
And I know that it's been hard. It's hard to become naked before people.
It is.
It's
It is.
very difficult. It's very difficult. But do you know what it is at the same time? It's therapeutic. It's therapeutic at the same time. So it's not for anybody to take pot shots at anybody in the comments section. It's just for you to be able to connect with anyone who feels, any woman or even any man that feels what you're saying, and to maybe even start a dialogue.
I think it would be really, really good to start a dialogue.
Absolutely.
Because this affects, it really does. It affects in sometimes grand ways. And by again seeing that excerpt on Ayana's show, it really that audience was filled with women, of daddyless daughters, and
a lot of tears,
a lot of tears,
a lot of stuff.
a lot of pain, lots of pain. So this is something that needs to be talked about even more. It has been discussed, it has been talked about, but it needs to be talked about even more. So that's the reason why I did, we agreed to do this video, just to really hopefully bless, and like I said, just stand with other women out there. Just letting them know you're not alone. I'm with you. We're with you.
Absolutely. And one takeaway I got from that video that we watched is tell the truth.
Yeah.
And that's hard. Because when you tell the truth, you're holding, sorry, I have this like really little something that keeps flying around my eye.
It's annoying, huh?
I had some bug spray. But anyway, when you tell the truth, when you face the truth, it's like looking in the mirror at yourself and you don't like what you see. So some people will not. I'm not going to look in that mirror, but you're not telling the truth. The truth will set you free.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important to tell the truth about it. That's why I tell you, tell the truth. Don't try to, even if it's something that you feel is going to hurt me. I'm a big girl. So if you have to tell your truth and it's something that's even aimed at me, tell your truth. Tell your truth, because I'm going to respect your truth, because it might be something I never even thought about.
Sure.
But it's something you're struggling with.
The Most High, I thank you again for you coming on my channel again.
Sure.
But also sharing your experiences, because you being that older voice, you've been there, done that, some experiences that you've shared has definitely has kept me out of certain situations that I'd be good. So it's really good that we're sharing this, as women. And it's, like you said, it's therapeutic. And I also want to thank you guys so much. Again, this video will be for who it's for.
Right.
But this was something that is needed. And I love all you guys, all my subscribers, male and female. But this video, I love my sisters. We're standing with you. And this is, if this video has spoken to you at all, definitely please put it in the comment section. I want to hear your comments. Like she said, it's not a, comment section to take pot shots at anybody, but I would love to hear, your comments from women and maybe even some men as well.
I think it's important to hear from our men.
From our brothers as well. So please put your thoughts in the comment section. Share this video with others that may be blessed by it. Like I said, if you like it, give this video a thumbs up. Big thumbs up, and and subscribe. And like I said, I bless the Most High for you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Mwah.
Oh, I'm not blowing a
Bye.
kiss. Bye. Maybe I should.
Bye.